What's up, guys? I'm in the airport about to head home, and I'm just on this come down from UFC 268. You know, when you put these cards together, when the UFC puts these cards together, all you can really do is hope. And when you hope that they come together, and then they do, it becomes UFC 268. I mean, the fight card was tremendous. The atmosphere was tremendous. You know, when I heard that they were going to do Justin Gaethje and Michael Chandler as the first fight of the night, I thought to myself, this is crazy. There's no way. But then, after experiencing the fight, I mean, the energy in that place, you know, one time we did McGregor versus Poirier, and they reset the main event. So before the co-main event started, they did the whole opening, those things that Dana posts all the time, and it just made the crowd go into a frenzy. I feel like that's what happened when Justin Gaethje fought Michael Chandler. I mean, the ebbs and flows of the fight. Chandler came out doing everything with 100% power, but Gaethje was just there and landing, answering, and just really doing his thing. And, you know, that whole thing with Justin Gaethje last weekend, I've said what I felt, and he took offense, but all week, not 1 second was Justin Gaethje mad at me, upset, or approached me in anger. He spoke about in that moment. And you know what? Last night he went out there and did what he had to do in order to assure that he keeps his championship fight, because he fought Michael Chandler and beat Michael Chandler, a very trained, well-prepared Michael Chandler. So hats off to Justin Gaethje. And honestly, I believe that he will be the guy that fights for the belt next. Islam will have to fight again. And that's okay, because I believe that Islam is going to be able to handle just about any challenge that's in front of him. You have to, right? If you're going to be the champ, you have to. The worst part about last night to me was Shane Burgos and Billy Quarantillo, because they put on an absolute classic fight. But because the energy level was so high from Gaethje Chandler, you can't match it. So it was almost like the crowd was on a come down from that fight. And those guys threw 400 and something strikes between the two of them. They went out there, and on any normal night, they would have had the fight of the night, and people would have been going crazy about what they saw. But when you have such big names in the pay-per-view opener, it's hard for two very talented fighters to follow that. I thought Quarantillo showed absolutely tremendous heart. I thought that Shane Burgos showed why he has put himself in position to be the ranked guy. But for Billy Q, I think that he goes home and he can build off of this. But for Burgos, it's onward and upwards. You know, after the loss to Barbosa, he was very disappointed and knew that he needed a special performance to put himself back in line or put himself back where he was. And he did exactly that. It was fantastic to watch. It was so fun. And honestly, for as difficult as a fight it was to follow, as the fight went on, the crowd started to get more and more into it. But you could almost see and feel like a sigh of relief coming from the arena, because they were so high for Gaethje versus Chandler. It was fun last night, and I think it was good for Trevor Whitman to get that first fight out of the way. But I can't imagine that you would put big names like that in the first fight of the pay-per-view, because it's very difficult to follow. So hats off to Billy Q and Shane Burgos for their fantastic performance. After you get those two fantastic fights, now Frankie Edgar and Chito Vera comes out there. How in the world are these guys supposed to match it? Frankie starts fighting a beautiful fight, but then Chito lands a Anderson Silva type of front kick to end the night. Guys, Frankie Edgar was mad at the stoppage because he's a fighter. That's what he's going to do. But I thought overall it was a great stoppage by the referee. And Frankie just wants to fight. And when you've gone through the things that he's gone through with Gray Maynard and retain your championship, you feel like you can do anything. But at 40 years old, I was very happy with the stoppage that happened inside the octagon. And for Marlon Vera, this is exactly what he needed. The last time he had a chance to fight a veteran, a former champion in Jose Aldo, he didn't get it done. But this time, he got it done in his onward and upwards. This guy has now put together some very big wins on his resume. And Marlon Vera looks, and is still so young. I remember this kid on the Ultimate Fighter Latin America from the very first season, and we have seen him grow inside the octagon. You get to the co-main event, Rose Namajunas versus Zhang Weili. Look, Rose Namajunas fought the very best Zhang Weili that's ever been inside the octagon, and she beat her because Zhang was prepared. She was very ready. But Rose pieced together a performance that allowed for her to keep her title. That fifth round to me shows the evolution of Rose Namajunas because she went out there and she got a takedown when she absolutely needed to keep her championship. And it's not easy to take down Weili. I think Weili made a lot of mistakes in the regard that she wasn't rushing to get back to her feet. You got to get up. If you get taken down, especially in a fight that's that close, you have got to find your way back to your feet. Zhang Weili didn't do that. She played her guard. And I think when she looks back on this performance, she's going to be very upset with herself that she wasn't more active and more efficient in her ways back up. Rose Namajunas showed, though, that she has improved in those areas where she struggled so mightily early in her career. Carla Esparza beat her with essentially just wrestling. You watch Rose Namajunas today, and you don't even think that's possible to happen again because she's so well-rounded. She's fantastic. You know, it's so good to see somebody's journey come full circle where before she hated being a champion, now she embraces it. And you can see that she is not going to be willing to give up that championship anytime soon. So hats off to Pat Barry and Rose and their entire team. Just, hey, how about my man Trevor Whitman last night going 3-0? And there's been some great coaching this year. When you can put together a performance like that as a coach, 3 fighters in those big spots, you're on a very short list for Coach of the Year. Javier Mendez. I know you're gonna call me biased, but that guy's been winning also, just like Trevor Whitman. And lastly, you get to the main event, Colby Covington versus Kamaru Usman too. Guys, it's time to start speaking about Kamaru Usman in all-time terms. He's now won 15 in a row to start his UFC career, one shy of tying Anderson Silva. He has the longest winning streak of all time at welterweight to start a career, past the great George St. Pierre. He's now defended that belt 4 or 5 times. I can't remember the number. And he beat a guy in Colby Covington, like Rogan said last night, who may just beat everybody else, regardless of era. And he's got 2 victories over him in a very close competitive fight. Early, it looked like Usman had Covington very afraid and nervous to attack. But as the fight went on, Colby started to really get himself going. And I thought that Colby won round 4 for sure. Round 3 was close. Round 5, you could have gave to Covington too. So looking at those 48-47 scores, I was not disappointed with how the fight was judged because I thought both guys had moments. I thought both guys fought well, and I thought that Kamaru Usman just did enough and showed his evolution because he was very calm and patient in the face of a very difficult opponent. Covington was ready to go. The guys at MMA Masters have really tightened up his game, and they've improved Colby Covington to a level where he spent 25 minutes on the feet with Kamaru Usman and really held his own and won rounds and showed once again why he's 1A to Kamaru he's 1B to Kamaru Usman's 1A. But man, Usman is truly, truly something special in the welterweight division. And honestly, when you look at the division, it's going to be very difficult to see who can beat him. He's so talented everywhere. Look, I stand by it. I thought that was a takedown. But you know what? You don't call it a takedown CompuBox or whatever it is we're using to count strikes. That's on you. But it was a great fight. Both guys should be very proud. I saw Colby in the locker room afterwards, and he was so disappointed. But you know what? I told him, hey, man, you got nothing to be ashamed of. You just fought maybe the greatest welterweight of all time in another very close competitive fight. Hats off to Colby Covington, but also the night belongs to the champ. He's the man, you know. Usman has envisioned this. Usman has wanted this to happen for a long time. And Usman has now put together a resume that can stand alongside anyone. People complained about him being #1 pound for pound. There is no question. He's active. He is the fighter of the year. This is now his 3rd fight in 2021. Guys, the fighter of the year. He's the best welterweight in the world, maybe the best welterweight of all time. And he really did headline the garden in a way that you want to as a champion. So hats off to everyone. Hey, Alex Pereira, I mean, what a knockout. Chris Barnett with that spinning back kick, heel kick. Whoever would have thought he could do that? Hey, Chris Barnett looks like he may have trouble tying his shoes, much less doing that to end the fight. John Vellante, congrats on a great career, and everybody else that truly just really showed out. I finally get some time home. It has been a crazy 2 weeks for me. I appreciate all the love and support you guys have shown this YouTube. It has been phenomenal. Like the video, hit the subscribe button. We get to 100,000, we'll do another giveaway, a massive giveaway. But thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. I love you. And boy, the garden was on fire last night. All the celebrities were in the building. I mean, you had the Stephen A., Michael Lees from ESPN doing pre-fight coverage. You had all the UFC, Michael Bisping. I mean, the stars were out. The fans were going mad. They were there early. That's one thing that happens if you put a Chandler versus Gaethje first. The place was completely packed for the first fight of the main event. There's nothing like a big UFC fight night. And last night once again proved why I have the greatest job in the world. And the UFC is the best and most exciting sport in the entire world. So thank you guys again. Like and subscribe and look out for more content coming soon. Thank you so much for all the love. I really appreciate you guys.